everyone. My name is Nozaliha Zainal. I will be the moderator for our discussion today. We are very blessed today for having the opportunity to get together and explore our topic of discussion, which is, are we biased in recruiting? I have with me, it was supposed to be 4, but I have with me 3 brilliant panels to discuss further on this matter. Our first panel is Encik Fadli bin Ilyas, Director of Human Resources from Menara Holdings Berhad. Our second panel is Encik Muhammad Saiful Safwan bin Muhammad Sabri, a lecturer from University Malaya, Faculty of Business and Accountancy. And we are also being joined by Encik Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Yusof, HR consultant from InTalent Consulting Sdn Bhd. Set to inform you that our fourth panel, the wonderful Cik Nur Hisham binti Nazri, couldn't join us for our discussion. Okay, before we start our discussion and letting Encik Fadli to share his thoughts, I would like to define what is bias by the definition of the Oxford Languages. It means that an inclination or prejudice for or against one person or group, especially in a way considered to be unfair. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Encik Fadli to share his thoughts on bias.
Hi, my name is Fadli. I will share about gender bias. Gender bias in the hiring process refer to the unfair treatment of applications depending on their gender. For instance, hiring managers may decide on a male candidate because of trait they see as traditional masculine. They may be on the lookout for those who have strong analytical and emotional reason skill. And some recruiters will say that guys are more likely to have this trait. As a result, they will choose a man for the position. But women could be a good fit. First, the important thing to prevent bias in gender when recruiting a company should create diverse team in HR. Nearly all hiring managers habit the aforementioned unconscious bias, which is why training is necessary. But when the HR team is not diverse, the issue is significantly worse. Male-only HR team may be much more discriminate toward women. As a result, you should have an effort to build a staff that is as vibrant and inclusive as possible to produce job advertising and evaluate prospect. They should be recruited from all backgrounds and genders. Furthermore, modern world today, there are many software in the market. Can company buy it? For example, we can use software we call Manatal. It's the best AI recruiting company can be get it. AI is a highly helpful tool for eliminating discrimination based on the gender in hiring. It may be used by recruiter to screen, rank, grade application. It also helps HR to save time to sorting candidate resume. Last but not least, be honest on yourself. You must be totally honest with yourself while hiring new employees. If the candidate you are choosing actually the best one, recruiter frequently don't even notice there is a buyer their hiring process until they truly search for it. That's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Encik Fadli, for the thoughts, being biased based on gender.
Gender.
Okay, right now, Well, as human beings, we are normally attracted to our opposite gender, but sometimes it happens when we are attracted to the same gender. Well, people will perceive that when a female interviewer most likely will choose the male candidate, and it's vice versa. Well, now we are moving on to the next factor on bias. Well, this will be discussed by our Encik Muhammad Saiful Safwan bin Muhammad Sabri.
Thank you for the moderator. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I want to share about the racial bias. The racial bias must be discussed from actual racism and discrimination. Implicit bias are association that people unconsciously make in their mind indicate that the person is probably unaware of the bias association. Although everyone has unconscious thought and association, being unaware of implicit racial bias open up a discussion about the problem. Race bias frequently come up in analysis and perception of Malaysia labor. In particular, charge of bias against non-Malay and in the Malay controlled government service, as well as against Malay in Chinese and foreigner controller business sector are fueling the very sensitive issue of discrimination in hiring and promotion. Obviously, the topic has greater political significance and social economy ramification that the sense amount of actual research that has been done on it. For Malaysia and other racially divided culture, it is crucial and timely to conduct a rigorous empirical investigation into any potential hiring discrimination. Do the research worry about graduate unemployment, which notably include a racial component in Malaysia? We concentrate on Malay and Chinese degree holder who have recently graduated. The discovery strong evidence of racial discrimination, with Chinese resume significantly outperforming Malay resume in terms of likelihood of being called for an interview, a ratio that is far larger than that observed in early field experimental investigation conduct in other nations. As after the application of the special control used in this study for the characteristic of applicant, employer, and job advertisement, the differential still exists. Lastly, employee but might use racial discrimination as a stand-in for unobservation factor. However, it is important to note that discrimination starts when candidates are chosen for interview. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Encik Fadli, for your, thank you, Encik Muhammad Saiful, for your sharing. Without delaying any time, we are going to call upon Encik Muhammad Afiq bin Muhammad Yusuf, HR consultant from InTalent Consulting Sdn Bhd. He will discuss on the confirmation bias.
Okay, thank you, our moderator, Puan Zaliha. The majority of us consider racial, gender, and possibly even age bias when we think about hiring bias. There is enough evidence to establish that these recruiting bias are detrimental to worker productivity and company growth. Therefore, we work to prevent them. Confirmation bias might result in prejudice throughout the hiring process. For instance, perceived conception about certain social group and their abilities may cause the best applicant to be placed over in favor of another who ultimately proved to be less optimal. Instead of analyzing all available material objectively, confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out and prioritize information that support the belief you already hold to be true. To put in another way, cherry picking information to confirm your intuition of underlying conviction about a candidate. Later, make skill evaluation the instill hiring pace. There is a good probability that you will pass on talented prospect if you utilize trigger based how to filter candidates. Our hiring bias can be produced by purely throughout all systems that reject or advance candidate based on the keyword on their resume. Additionally, candidates may be rejected by all matching technologies based on the outcome of yearly application with comparable background. Later, we decide that to test for examine your job description and be specific about the daily responsibility of the position. Your test should be evaluate the candidate's knowledge of the talent they require, their tool use power, and their soft skill set. Use a recruitment tool to administer your test. You need a skill assessment platform like Vivo that track the candidate through the process and support numerous question form allowing you to collect all your data in one location. Okay, that's all my sharing about the confirmation bias. Back to our moderator.
All right. Thank you, Chair Afiq. All right, now, well, besides then gender and race, bias can be based on beauty. So this is the topic that was supposed to be communicated by our Cik Norisham, but I will take this opportunity to read her point of view. Okay, this is a view that beautiful people are more successful. And again, it comes down to how our brains are hardwired. We tend to think that the most handsome individual will be the most successful, and as a result, they tend to be. So beauty bias can be linked to the anchor bias in that it can be common, or it can be common for recruiters to try and fill a role by finding a candidate who has a similar appearance to the person leaving, because they subconsciously believe that how a person looks affects how they will perform in the job. Does beauty bias have different effects on men and women? Unexpectedly, the answer is yes, but not in the manner you might anticipate. Well, in recruiting and interviewing, the beauty bias is demonstrated when the hiring manager views attractive candidates as more qualified for the position or believes.
Okay, noted. Okay. Then I will continue about the beauty bias from our Hisham because our moderator have a little problem. Okay. Then beauty bias in the eyes of the beholder. So being influenced to hire or not hire based on the appearance could be result in may use of hiring manager to describe any areas where the candidates does excel, such as their skill or ability. All right, then the hiring manager may even more accuse for the candidate low qualification just justify their decision to hire based on the criteria that may have nothing to do. Then with the requirement for the role, perhaps the candidates will remind the hiring manager of the previous attractive employees who used to be a position and was successful. slowly because they look like the former employees, much like the cemetery attraction best. The hiring manager may have a subconscious belief or bias that his candidate will be success in the role. But generally, how a person look is not an indicated or how will they perform in a job. However, there are certain jobs where physical appearance is important. Are certain jobs where the physical important. Like here, the beauty bias will serve you well in selecting the right candidate. For instance, hiring models, actor, actress, singer, or hiring people in their field where physical appearance in the primary requirement. This is when the hiring manager beauty bias will help. Now, most people may find themselves naturally down toward attractive people, both in their personality and professional life. The main takeaway about the beauty bias is to keep in mind where will be benefit you in the hiring decision and when the bias should influence your job decision. As the saying goes, beauty is in the eyes of beholder. Just don't let beauty be the main reason why you decide whether or not someone is best qualified candidate for the job. Okay, for the conclusion, for Hisham topic is when a hiring manager think attractive people are more competent for the job or more likely success in it, this is known as a beauty bias. Due to this prejudice, a hiring manager might ignore a candidate's weakness in some area, such like skill or ability. Hiring supervisor might be biased toward thinking that this individual will success in the position. The most important lesson to learn from the beauty bias is not to aware when it will help you in the recruiting process and when it should. Okay, back to our moderator.
Oh, well, thank you, Encik Muhammad Afiq, for saving the day. Suddenly something came up, you really cover me well. All right, now we already discussed this topic mainly on bias. We know that there are several factors affecting bias like gender, race, and the confirmation itself, and also beauty. So we really hope that discussion on bias that we have today from our panels give us some thought on bias that we are facing in recruitment in our industry. Well, that's all for tonight. Any last word from our panel? Encik Fadli?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Thank you to invite me about to this topic. This is a good topic. We should be advised to people. We cannot be biased on our recruitment because when we bias our recruitment, the people will take action to our company to take our profile. Can be bad or good company come from HR. That's all.
All right, noted. Thank you, Encik Fadli, for the thoughts. Well, we hear the last word from Encik Muhammad Saiful Safwan.
So in my point, I like to advise for all company not be such a racist on a race. We are in Malaysian and we are one Malaysian. So just I hope this talk will open their mind to more better after this. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Encik Muhammad Saiful Safwan. Thank you for joining us. Well, Encik Muhammad Afiq, we would like to hear from you a little bit before we conclude our discussion today.
Okay, thank you, Puan Nur Zaliha Zainal. Okay, for my opinion, that conduct a skill evaluation of candidates early in the hiring process, then process to the interview with them. The resume should be looked at the last or better still, or not at all. Okay, that from me.
Okay. All right, then I think we have discussed further on bias. We really hope that our discussion is fruitful to other people. So, all right. Thank you, our panel, Encik Muhammad Fadli, Encik Muhammad Saiful Safwan, and Encik Muhammad Afiq. And we are so sorry that our Encik Nur Hisham couldn't join us. All right. Anyway, good night, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good night. Thank you for
Okay,
everything.
thank you.